Morning everyone, myself Abhi and today we are here for a literary podcast. Today we'll be looking at a very famous short poem called Fire and Ice. To help us understand, we have with us the most iconic and special guest, Robert Frost with us. So let's welcome him with a huge round of applause. Welcome to today's literary podcast. We are honored to have the renowned poet Robert Frost with us. Thank you so much sir, for joining us. So, throughout your life, you have faced many challenges and witnessed your rapid aging. How did these experiences influence your perspective as a poet? So, life taught me that human beings are capable of doing both great things and terrible things. I have lived through a phase where major social changes, new inventions, and global conflicts take place. So, these experiences made me think deeply regarding the human emotion and its nature. So, that was the main reason why many of my poems consist the interlinking of the human nature and its emotions. That's interesting. While reading your poem, I've often noticed that you explore the consequences of human emotions. Did any such observations inspire your famous poem Fire? Yes, the poem Fire and Ice is also inspired by the observations of the people and the world around me. So, the time when I wrote this poem, it was the time when World War I had just ended and the global conflicts between nations were still increasing. So, this made me think that how ambition, desire for power, and greediness has got great in sake of destruction. So, this also shows that how strong emotions can affect the whole world. So that is the point where I got an idea, write the poem Fire and Ice, where the fire and ice represented the emotions of the person. Sir, why did you choose fire and ice as the symbols of destruction? I choose fire and ice as the symbols of destruction as they truly represent the nature of human emotions. So human emotions are at a time too much extreme level, but sometimes they are at too much cold or icy level. So here the fire represents the emotions that will cause a spontaneous and rapid destruction like desire, passion, ambition and many more. Whereas ice, icy emotions would cause the destruction in a slow and steady manner, but they will cause the numbness in the emotions of a person that will lead to insensitivity and lack of empathy of a person for some another person. So the five icy emotions consist of the emotions like hatred, jealousy, envy, indifference, and insensitivity. So even though both have much different nature, but if left unchecked, they both can cause equal amount of destruction. Principal features and aspects. I did a cartoon, not with any department. That's the thing. Let me give you a short explanation of the poem Fire and Ice. If they are will explaining the first stanza, which is some say the world will end in fire, some say ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hope it goes favor fire. The explanation of the stanza is as follows. In this stanza, the poet shares the ideologies of the people on the end of the world. He says some of the ideologies suggest that the world will end in emotions such as anger, desire, lust, and greed, which are represented by fire. While the authors contradict this by saying that the world will end in emotions such as hate, lack of empathy, insensitivity, and more, which can be represented through the element of ice. In the last two lines of the stanza, the poet compares desire to fire. He says that he feels that the world will end through desire because he knows the immense amount of destruction the emotion can cause. And thus, he supports and favors the people who say that the world will end in fire. And it is very much important from past tense. I'm here to improve about standard. But difficult to parasites, I think I know how to it, but for the sake of the description is insulted and discerned. The following standard tells someone how Robert Frost invents the element of ice in fate. He appeared indicate that he has experienced fate and he feels that fate ice. The poet stated ice also has great destructive powers to destroy the world.
The poet says that in the world what we implies the next element causing it to be ice. Ice has sufficient powers to destroy it, what and it ultimately leads to the destruction of it. What? Here, ice represents whole human emotions like insensitivity, jealous, pain, hate, and lack of empathy. Because of these emotions, it creates madness in person and destroys the people.
I think Vedant is limited, and I'm going to present the master of the poem Fire and Ice. What makes Fire and Ice so remarkable is that Robert Frost transforms a simple question about the end of the world into a powerful reflection of human nature. Through the symbols of fire and ice, he suggests that the greatest threats to humanity do not always come from natural disaster, but from emotions within ourselves. Fire represents desire, greed, ambition, and uncontrolled passion, while ice represents hatred, indifference, and emotional coldness. Frost warns us that when these emotions become extreme, they can be just as destructive as any physical force. The poem conveys a timeless message. Human beings must learn to control their desires, overcome hatred. A world driven by selfish ambitions may burn in conflict, and a world filled with indifference and hatred may freeze in division. Therefore, the survival of humanity depends on values such as understanding, passion, and self-control. Thank you.
Control these intense emotion and stop such conflict.
It's not wrong to have such emotions. Everybody has them. But we should keep them in control and not let them take control of us. Good morning everyone. Myself Sudhir Bansoda and I am going to explain the theme of the poem. In Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice, the poet is trying to convey that how human emotions can lead to destruction of world. In the poem, the fire represents the passion, desire and greed which could lead to destruction of world like a wildfire. The poem also uses ice as an example of indifference, coldness and hatred which breaks the human emotions and connections in between them and which may lead to destruction of the world. This is Satinanda. Today I am going to explain the tone of the poem. The poet uses three types of tone. First, conversational. Second, serious. Third, pessimistic. First, conversational. Instead of fearing, the poet uses the tone in a very casual way. The second tone of the poem is serious. It is a very serious thing that we should know about it and our whole way and with own feelings. Third, pessimistic. Pessimistic. It is one of the most important tone of the poem because it shows the negativity of the whole poem.
Good morning everyone, myself Shaurya Karanjkar. Today my topic is poetic devices. In the poem Fire and Ice, I will tell the poetic devices. First, symbolism. Fire, fire. Fire symbolizes desire.
Control on and not let them take control of us. Good morning everyone, myself Sudhir Bansoda and I am going to explain the theme of the poem. In Robert Frost's poem Fire and Ice, the poet is trying to convey that how human emotions can lead to destruction of world. In the poem, the fire represents the passion, desire and greed which could lead to destruction of world like a wildfire. The poem also uses ice as an example of indifference, coldness and hatred which breaks the human emotions and connections in between them and which may lead to destruction of the world. Thank you. Myself Vedant Nileshmai. Today I am going to present the international project on comparison between fire and ice. This topic combines science and English. In science, fire and ice both are very two different phenomena, and in English they are often used as symbols of different emotions and ideas. Fire represents heat, energy, passion, and destruction, while ice represents coldness, calmness, and stillness. This chart compares the fire and ice with different scientific properties. First, temperature. Fire is extremely hot, ranging from 600 degrees Celsius to 500 degrees Celsius, while ice exists at 0 degrees Celsius or below. The fire is mainly made up of hot gases and plasma, while ice is simply a frozen water. Then, density. Fire has 1.2 kilogram per meter cube and ice has 917 kilograms per meter cube. The specific heat. Fire has 1 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin and ice has 2.1 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin. Thermal effect. Fire is exothermic and ice is endothermic. The structure of fire, the fire has no specific structure, while ice has a beautiful hexagonal structure. Fire has bright colors like red, yellow, and orange, while ice has mainly white or blue. To conclude, fire and ice are opposite in terms of temperature, state, energy, and formation. Scientifically, they help us to understand matter and energy. In English, from English perspective, they help us to understand different human emotion and ideas. So this topic beautifully connects science with English and yeah, with this poem. Fire and ice teaches us that the human emotions have both powerful and destructive. Where the fire represents uncontrolled, powerful desires, while the ice represents hatred, indifference, and lack of empathy. In this meaningful poem, Robert Frost reminds us that if human negative emotions are not controlled, they can cause a great harm to the individuals and society. Thank you.
Now, we would like to thank our respected principal man for giving us this wonderful opportunity to present here the poem Fire and Ice, and also I myself also got the opportunity to portray the character of Robert Frost, which was an amazing experience for all. So, thank you, principal ma'am, for encouraging us.
Very good thing. And the teacher also. And the level of